John started with the passenger side fender. He started at the bottom and he's working his way up.
Do you think he's hot?
I think he's very hot. But he's my brother. I don't mean hot like that.
Well, the booth's like 90 degrees, I think.
Oh, is the booth 90 degrees on top of that suit? Oh my gosh, he's very hot. He was sweating before he went in there, so.
He's also a little nervous, huh?
He's very nervous. I saw him look up to the ceiling and I don't know, I thought that might be heaven, but he's confused because he's so nervous.
No, he was just checking the filters up there.
Oh yeah, maybe that's what he was doing. He said a brief prayer, I think, before he went in.
A Hail Mary.
A Hail Mary attempt, yes.
Okay, so the day has finally arrived when we're shooting color on the SS496 Chevelle. John is in a really nice paint booth for a change, and not kind of our prime booth that we use. And we've been able to hook up with Greg Bartnett with the Meramac Collision Center, correct?
That's correct, Meramac Heights Collision Center.
And we're actually renting his booth, and this is something that people have talked about in magazines and stuff for a long time, that you can just go rent somebody's paint booth. Is this common that this stuff happens?
No, not very often, no. Yeah. No, I don't have too many people ask for it.
Well, let's talk about your business on a day-to-day. What happens here?
Okay, our core business is collision repair, accident repair. The normal wreck is what we do here.
Hopefully you fix here.
Exactly, we fix them, correct. Yeah, we don't wreck them here, we fix them here, correct, yeah.
Over in the corner, there's a Chevy 2 convertible. So you know there's a little streak of enthusiasm. You know, you're not just in it to repair cars, you're also a car guy.
Right, I am a car guy. I've been a car guy since I was 14 years old. I've been in the industry doing repair work and paint work back then. But yeah, I've got some cars I've done for my brother and friends over the years.
Well, tell us about this facility that John's painting in here. This Blow Therm booth is it's pretty impressive.
It's a Blow Therm downdraft spray booth. It has an air makeup system in it. It also has a 1,000,000 BTU baking cycle system in it.
Okay, so tell me again in English for people that aren't familiar with the terminology of a booth.
It's a downdraft spray booth. Basically, it has a pitted floor, and it has two styles of fans in it. It has one that pulls the fumes out, one that pushes fresh air in. That way, it's always a constant airflow, and you don't feel air coming over the car. Once it's painted, it'll go into a purge cycle, which is just going to recycle fresh air for 15 minutes, and then it'll go into a bake cycle where we can actually bake the paint on.
So obviously this minimizes our chances of dust and contaminants in the paint.
Right, it'll cut down the dust. It'll save you a little bit of time color sanding and buffing. It's also a good, safe environment for the painter and for the environment.
Now, how important is it to bake a finish?
Baking the finish, it'll get all the thinners and evaporate all the reducers out of the paint.
The walls are sticky.
The walls are sticky. There's a booth coating on the walls, and what that does is that just prevents overspray from sticking to the finish behind the booth coating.
Okay, so say an average guy in any town USA wants to do some paint work, maybe touch up a fender or even a complete in his own garage or something, and he doesn't have access to something like this. Are there any pointers you could give him to maybe constructing something? Or
well,
we don't have to get into the EPA thing and all the rest of it.
I was going to say, personally, I wouldn't recommend it, but you know, if somebody wants to paint some small parts at a minimum, clean, dry area is what you need. You can put up some plastic sheeting, minimum airflow, but here again, with the new paint technologies, you need a lot of airflow in order for the paint to cure properly, and that's why I always recommend a professional.
Well, and we do too, and we heard from our PPG paint rep, Dave Cooper, about not only the complexity of the chemistry of new finishes, but also the safety aspects.
Exactly. You want to be trained at painting the vehicles. You want to know the chemicals, and you do want all the safety precautions. You want to protect yourself from the overspray and from the paint fumes. It is very toxic.
So maybe it is a better bet just to find a good shop that's going to work with you. Now, let me ask you this. If you're going to have a Musclecar done like what we brought in here, what do you want to ask a paint shop or a repair shop before you get involved with a project?
If you're thinking about doing the work yourself, you might want to get with the shop and work with them, in other words, so they can see at what point of repair you are. If you're thinking about just having a shop paint the car for you and you do your body work. You know, partner with a shop that'll be able to help explain the processes with you.
Now, if I brought you a car that was halfway through completion, and I say, I want you guys to do the final paint and color sand and everything else, would you just cringe because you're not aware of my work quality?
I would definitely cringe, because there would be no way for me to guarantee what you've done. And naturally, the main thing everybody sees is the final product. And I always relate it to customers. It's like putting nice black top on top of cracked concrete. It's going to look great for a little while, but there's no way that we know what's underneath it and how long it's going to last and what the final outcome will be.
So maybe it would be realistic, you know, if you're confident in your abilities to put a car together and bring it to a painter or a shop, maybe it's a good idea to go in understanding that they're not, maybe they won't offer a warranty, but they'll do the work.
Exactly, exactly. There are shops out there that will take that project on, but as far as guaranteeing it, that's a tough situation. I mean, you just don't know what the foundation is underneath it.
Well, let's talk about the whole thing from soup to nuts. I mean, what should I ask if I'm going to bring my car to have a shop, you know, restored or painted?
Sure. Number one, you're going to need to know what extent you're going to want to restore it. Are you just doing a paint job on it, or are you going for full-blown concourse point car? You know, the next thing is, are they going to bring it down to bare metal, start with epoxy primers and work it up from there? Is a good original finish, it just need to be sanded and painted, or is it something that's going to be taken all the way down to bare metal and then started from epoxy up?
Now, I know some of these projects can get insanely expensive. Where does the money go?
The money goes in labor, materials, and supplies, and equipment. I mean, it's outrageous what you'll pay for tape, masking paper, sandpaper, body filler, grinding discs, and all the supplies that go into it.
So tell me what you think of this particular car. It looks like it's laying out pretty good so far.
Car looks really good. Car looks really good. It came in all prepped and ready to go. Got it masked off, and it looks like it's going to be a really nice car.
You don't have to extend the guarantee, but I think the prep work was done right on this one.
Yeah, it looks like John did a really nice job on it.